procedurals on American television states that the largely fictitious devices of television now drives the narrative of the world outside. The small screen current research suggests that the CSI franchise is in part responsible for disrupting the administration of justice through what is now being called the CSI effect. Having recently become something of a household term and a coinage that has become increasingly shop-worn by academics, the CSI effect describes not only how these series educate criminals on how to commit crimes more efficiently, but also their role in contaminating jury pools by engendering unrealistic expectations of forensics expertise among lay persons with limited to no understanding of science. So much so that the case that jury pools in the United States are now frequently vetted on the biases of the viewing habits of prospective jurors and their spectatorship of the various CSI series. Hi, my name is Matthew Viergutz and I'm doing a project for crime, criminal justice, in the media. Would you be willing to participate?
Sure.
Okay. What do you personally believe the duties of crime scene investigators are?
To gather all the information they can about what happened at the crime scene, all the evidence, just basically everything surrounding it, anything left behind by the person who committed the crime, so they can better figure out the information behind it.
Okay. What do you personally believe the duties of detectives are?
I'd say the detectives more or less would do the investigating, questioning of victims, any possible suspects, and they could try and put the information together to figure out better what the crime was.
Okay. Where do you get your beliefs about the duties of crime scene investigators and detectives from?
I'd say mostly from TV shows more than the media or anything, mostly TV shows.
Okay. And what effects do you believe has the media had upon the public about the duties of crime scene investigators and detectives?
I'd say the media probably portrays it a little more interesting than it really is. They probably make it seem a lot more fun, action-packed than it really is. It's probably a lot more just kind of crime and grilling, just work.
Okay, for sure. Thank you very much for your help.
No problem.
As you prepare to watch this episode of NCIS, please think about the following things. What would happen in real life if somebody was murdered and the prime suspect was one of the investigator's brothers or immediate family members? Do you really believe that that team would still be allowed to investigate the murder, or would it go to a different team to investigate the murder that has no bias because of conflict of interest?
Enough chit-chat, see if that man's got to work. Okay, wallet was found near the body, no cash. Victim is Caleb Adams, 23, petty officer, 2nd class on the DD-350 Hagen. It's a destroyer docked for Liberty at Chesapeake Bay. Check for surveillance in the area. Those two with him? They said they found him this way. I'm still getting the details. Doc? Abrasions on his hands and feet.
The article by Court Butler and Hartshorn called Watching the Detectives, Crime Programming, Fear of Crime, and Attitudes About the Criminal Justice System states that the more often people watch non-fictional crime programming, the more fearful they were of criminal victimization. Fear and the perception of an increasingly national crime rate appear to undermine their confidence in the ability of the criminal justice system to reduce crime, protect citizens, and treat them fairly.
Gibbs. Trajectory.
Babs, what?
I got a hit on the prints. The person is in NCIS custody.
was an accident. I didn't mean to kill him.
But you did.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. I watched him die right in front of me. But I'm going to spend the rest of my life making up for it. If you can help me out, I promise I'm going to make it up to you and the whole damn world. And the guy.
I hope you enjoyed that video clip from NCIS. But did you notice how in the end, Director Vance was having a conversation with his brother-in-law, where his brother-in-law admitted to Director Vance that he killed the victim himself. And then Director Vance said that he was going to help him more than he has ever helped him before. And then Director Vance just walked away. Didn't arrest his brother-in-law even after he confessed. Do you really think that's how it would happen in real life? That's why they don't allow people to investigate crimes if they know the suspect or if they know the victim, because of bias, because of conflict of interest. The article by Diericks and Vandenbalk and Parmentier called "The Police as Societal Moral Agents, Procedural Justice and the Analysis of Police Fiction" states that our findings suggested that of the 4 analyzed shows, NCIS depicted the most severe procedural justice violations. It featured accusatory interrogation techniques more frequently than other shows, and the most commonly portrayed violation in NCIS was the use of unwarranted violence, while this was the verbal disrespect in other shows. The show seems to communicate procedural justice is often ineffective, or alternately, violating procedural justice is legitimate when it comes to certain operations.
Hey! What happened to our spending an entire weekend together?
I just lost 2 NCIS agents.
Do you know them, McGee?
Jim Nelson and I went to Fletcher together. I was at his wedding 2 months ago. This better not be another recall drill. I had floor seats for the Wizards this afternoon.
It's Agent Cassidy's team out of the Pentagon, Tony.
They were attacked. Is she okay? She survived?
Her men weren't as lucky.
Well, what the hell happened? We're going to find out, you know.
Just as in the previous episode, something wrong happened that wouldn't happen in real life. In this episode, Gibbs and his team were called in to investigate the deaths of a fellow team of NCIS agents whom they knew very well on a personal level. This would never happen in real life. They would not be investigating the deaths of their own friends and colleagues. It would be done by an outside team.
Who are you? We're working for the Muslim Coalition for Peace. Yazid, was he in here? We're supposed to have some paint this afternoon.
I found it.